Good morning. Welcome back to the Happy Homestead. Jumping right into today's project for the Every Bit Counts Challenge. It is Friday, August 25th. Happy Friday. I am cutting up some chicken breast here, and I am going to be doing a canning project with chicken, some peeled diced potatoes, corn, celery, carrot, a lot of spices and herbs, and we're going to top it with chicken broth. And this is going to be a chicken corn chowder. So the goal is that when I open a jar or two for dinner, I'll pour it into a sauce pot and add some milk and possibly even some bacon at that point. And I could make a roux first, right, with some flour and butter and milk to thicken it. But basically I'll add my milk or cream, some bacon, and then we will have a wonderful chicken corn chowder for the winter. So I am doing this kind of like it's a hot pack, I guess you could call it. I'm going to be filling, I'm hoping to do 7 quarts. I'm going to be layering and filling my jars with the chicken, the potatoes, the corn, celery, spices, and then I've got some hot chicken broth, chicken stock, in the Instant Pot right now. We had a roast chicken for dinner last night, and if you've been following along, you know that every time I make a chicken, I immediately then make some chicken stock from the leftovers of that chicken overnight in the Instant Pot. And so that is what's here. It's still warm. Rather than canning just the chicken stock, I thought I'd can a soup, kind of can a ready-made meal, and have something else to put in the pantry that we can really use on some of those busy nights. I've got my canner warming up. Everything is chopped and prepped. So once the canner is going, I am gonna get our sourdough cinnamon rolls rolled out. I'm adding about a hefty 1/2 cup of diced chicken to each jar. All right, I did not have enough chicken for that last jar, so I'm just gonna put that aside and see how we can do with everything else before I put anything in there. If I have to, I can just fill that with the vegetables in the broth. Freshly ground pepper. Maybe about a 1/2 teaspoon of Redmond real salt in each jar. Now this is all gonna be pressure canned at 1.5 hours. I'm also doing about a 1/2 teaspoon of oregano. And I did not chop any fresh garlic, so I'm just adding a little bit of garlic powder to each jar. Maybe about a 1/4 teaspoon. Potatoes. Onions. Celery. Corn. We're going to ladle in our warm stock. If I don't have enough stock, I'll just go open a jar from the pantry. My jars are about 3/4, maybe a little less full, and I'm going to leave 1-inch headspace. I really want the stock to be able to circulate around all of the food so that this can get to the safe level of pressure needed to be stored properly. And I didn't actually have any leftover vegetables, so 6 quarts it is instead of 7. I'm going to open a pint add some more in here. Make sure we don't have any air bubbles, especially with the chicken on the bottom. And add more stock if needed to get to that 1 inch head space. Okay, so the chowder is in the canner. It's got about, like I said, an hour and a half to process for me at 10 pounds of pressure. So now we're gonna start on our pumpkin cinnamon sourdough rolls. I've got everything here on the counter. I pulled out 2, what are these, like aluminum tins. We're gonna put them in these. I'm actually gonna put some butter on the bottom just to make sure they don't stick to these when I actually am baking. And I'm going to put them in here and they're gonna get frozen right in here. That way I can just take a tray out, put it in the fridge overnight, and the next morning bake right in here. The first thing we need to do is add in 1 teaspoon Redmond real salt, 1 teaspoon baking powder, and half a teaspoon baking soda. We're just gonna use our hands and mix it into our fermented dough. In the freezer they go, and lucky me, have a little extra. So I'm gonna bake that today for the kids and for myself and my husband, and we'll have a couple for after school today. These will go in the freezer. They're gonna stay there, and they are gonna get cooked within the next 3 to 4 months. What I've read is that when you're freezing cinnamon rolls, you do want to eat them within the 3 to 4 month time frame. Make sure that they're really well wrapped to protect them from freezer burn. that does it for today. The cinnamon rolls are out. I ate one. It was delicious. And I look forward to pulling those out this winter. The canner is off of the hot burner, but the jars are still in the canner. So we'll pull those out a lot later when everything is down to zero pressure. I hope you have a wonderful weekend ahead. Stay happy, stay healthy. Bye-bye.